What's going on, guys? Hey, they're having a great day out there, guys. We're gonna do a little shop work again here today. I got a few parts in, and you guys have seen the last little video with the Typhon 6S. It was a YouTube short. I decided to just go down and have a little fun with this thing, and we launched it off that vert ramp. Thing caught some massive airtime. However, when that chassis slapped pretty hard, it did the motor in. It completely pancaked the one side of the motor. It was done for. Also had snapped off the screws on the motor mount, but I went on to Jenny's RC, and as you guys know, this car has always had pretty much the stock system in it. So I went on there, ordered a brand new Spectrum motor. It's the same 2050 kV motor. We're going to go ahead and chuck this in there. I think I got this on there for like, I think it was like 28 bucks or something like that. It was not a bad deal at all. So got another stock motor. We're going to go ahead and get that installed, get the new motor in here, get the Typhon back running again, because that thing's an absolute rocket, of course. And also got a couple other things here, a few goodies we're going to work on, and I'll show you this project. Now, on the Team Crowley Spark, we are currently, I haven't got to run this yet, but we're going to test out the new Garage Life RC battery box setup on this car. So we're going to leave that and give that a test out the way it is. So I think we're going to do this modification here on the Team Crowley Asuga XLR here. And what we got, guys, is a new thing we're testing out from M2C Racing. And what this is a battery tray adapter to go from the whole pattern, obviously, on the chassis for the stock battery tray, and it adapts it over to an Arrma battery box, which, you know, these battery boxes have always, tested it, what is that, the test of time or whatever, has proved the test of times on durability. I haven't broken the battery box on the Asuga yet. I did break it on the Spark, but on this car, surprisingly, I have not killed this. This one's been holding up pretty well, but we are going to change over to the adapter plate here and install the Arrma battery tray here. This is for the Outcast. One little side note, after speaking with Avery about these trays, pretty much you do want to go with the battery tray large Outcast or Creighton. I think it's pretty much a whole bunch of them are the same. However, you don't want to use the Typhon because there's something different about the whole pattern, and I didn't know that at first. So I had to order another battery tray. But guys, we're going to get this fitted up in here also. But I think first we're going to get the Typhon up here, get the new motor in here, and get that thing back up and running. So stay tuned, everybody. Now, for those of you who saw the short I put up with this car launching off that vert ramp, I mean, this thing, she caught some airtime. And guys, the HItec servo, I was super impressed that servo took that hit and just kept on ticking and running smooth as ever. Another thing I was super impressed with was the M2C Racing motor mount. That it didn't bend, crack, break, or nothing, and it just sheared the motors off cleanly right off at the edge of the motor on the old one. I threw the old one away. I pulled it open. All the windings were flattened out, and it was a pretty big mess. So it's due for a new motor. The old Typhon rips pretty good, so we're going to get this put in here. And the gearing I have on here is pretty large. I can't see the numbers on this one, but she is a pretty large pinion I'm running on this thing, and she does rip. And the temperatures, honestly, aren't that terrible. I got to rip this thing around on the streets a lot, and the temps don't run too bad on it. But let's go ahead and get the new motor installed in here and get the Typhon back up and running. Well, she's just about ready to fit up in there. And yes, I do have a support under this, and it had a support under it on that jump. I couldn't believe how many people in that video said, dude, you got to support the back of that motor. Like this was my first rodeo. It had a support in there, and the old one also had hot glue I had put underneath the back of it to help support it. It didn't really seem to, it didn't fix that. Some things there's just no fixing. All right, well, we got everything installed in here, got everything buttoned up, and also got the motor brace under there filled with a whole bunch of hot glue. So it allows a little bit of flex in there with that hot glue, but also helps keep that supported. Got her turned on here, just put a 4S battery on it. Steering's still working, and she is moving again, which is promising. Well, the Typhon's ready to rock again. I just looked over everything, made sure all the screws were tight, but everything else looked straight and one tacked, and that thing took one heck of a slap on the ground, man. I mean, that thing hit the concrete. There was literally a blast of dirt came out from underneath the car. It was a pretty good chassis slapper. But anyway, guys, Typhon's fixed up. She's ready to rock and roll again. Let's go ahead and get the Crowley Asuga down here and get the new battery box fitted up. All right, well, I started assembling the new battery box here. Just got the Velcro straps on it here. I'm going to go ahead and get the car down here and take the old battery box out of there and then kind of see how this exactly fits up on there. Honestly, it should be pretty self-explanatory. All the different holes should line up and get her bolted up on there. Let's see how she fits up. So I was just quickly doing a little test fitting here, and all the pins line right up. It still has the same lineup pins like the stock chassis does. Also, what's nice about this plate, guys, is that rather than the ESC mounting to a plastic plate, because I had these things flex around a lot, it's mounting to a nice aluminum plate, obviously, which will help sturdy up that ESC, which should be a nice improvement to it. All right, well, we got the adapter plate screwed on to the Arrma battery box here. Holds on with 6 screws, and then you got your 2 big main screws that are just like the same ones that hold the stock battery box in on the Crowley. Those are going to go and bolt up. I'm going to see which side the ESC wire needs to lay in here to be comfortable and in a good position, obviously not to run, but everything's also fitted up and everything matched up and fitted great. All right, guys, well, she is all fitted up, and she fit up in here beautifully. Nice, sturdy box. This thing is going nowhere. It's got the 2 big screws holding it from the chassis. We've got the 2 screws in the back here holding the ESC to it, and everything else fit up on there great. No fitness issues, really. The only thing I did do when I was fitting it up was there was a little piece of the battery box right here that you can kind of see that I notched out. It was really close and kind of pushing up against there. So I cut that piece of the battery box out there just to make sure that it didn't hit, rub, or cause any problems, because it's not really needed. So I went ahead and removed that, because honestly with this setup, using the balance lead holder, you can't really, because it's too tight to the ESC anyways. So I wasn't that concerned about it. I honestly thought about taking off this whole piece, but it would kind of lose some of the integrity of the battery box. So I decided to leave it there and just notch out the little piece. But everything else fit up in there great. I'm gonna go ahead, get one of my 6S lipos in here with wrap, see how she fits up in there, make sure all the fitment with the body and all that's good, and we'll check it out. All right, we got one of my Ovonic 4,000 milliamp 6S lipos in here. These are the ones I run a lot of times in all of my buggies just because I like the reduced weight. I have one here, one of my 5,300 milliamp 120C 6S packs, which is quite a bit thicker. We're also gonna throw in here, but so far she fits up in there nicely. Let's go ahead and test the body out. Fits on there like a glove, no problems with clearance on that. So let's go ahead and put the 6S or the larger 6S battery in here, make sure that fits up all right. All right, well, let's go ahead and test it out. I got the pack Velcroed in there. I decided to put the lead down in here because I got the Velcro strap coming down. I put this on here, wasn't really sure which way I was gonna try to hold down the wires. I think it's gonna depend on what pack I have, how it's gonna fit up. But with the really thick pack on here, body goes on, it does just start to hit the body right there. You can definitely feel it starting to tap right there. So I'm gonna guess this is probably about the thickest pack you're gonna go to. And I'm gonna measure this pack, the depth of it, and I'll let you guys know so that if you're trying to test fit certain packs in here, you know how thick you can go. And I would say this is probably the thickest you're gonna wanna go. Now I know on a lot of the sites, they usually go by millimeters on these battery packs. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Check this one out, exactly the thickness of this battery pack. And this is the thickest pack you're gonna wanna go with. And it is coming around basically 62 millimeters of depth or thickness. The length of it's fine. It doesn't matter the thickness of it or anything like that. The width of this pack is 42. So that's about the thickest you're gonna wanna go. Now this is my standard pack that I pretty much run in all of my buggies. I rarely to never run that pack in any of my buggies anyway, just due to the weight and size of it. But these ones are only 47.4. So definitely a big change in thickness on that battery. And that's why there's definitely no issues with clearance with that. So I'm not concerned about the clearance at all. But any of you guys that are wanting to run a really big pack, in the buggies with this modification or this changeover, you know, this is about the thickest pack you're going to want to go to. Now, I know different battery manufacturers, obviously, depending on the you know, the thicknesses are different, but at least on the Ovonic, basically the 53-120 is about the biggest you're going to want to go with. All right, guys, well, she is all finished up and ready to roll. And guys, I want to send a big thank you and shout out to M2C Racing. You know, I mean, there's lots of great modifications out there and awesome platforms you can put together. But, you know, honestly, sometimes it's the little things like this that just really are important, you know, in this hobby, where you have the Crowley cars that are an awesome car, a great platform. Honestly, absolutely love them. After having the Asuga and the Spark now for a number of months, beating the snot out of them, awesome car. Only weak spot I've really come across that's major has been his battery box, and it's been a problem for many people with the battery box breaking and causing problems. And I would just want to send a big thank you to M2C Racing for working on this and putting the design and time into making something to fix this problem, so we can put in here, a nice, good, proven battery box from Arrma here and make this car even more awesome. So just a big thank you to M2C Racing, guys. Really appreciate everything you guys do. All right, boys and girls. Well, I hope you enjoyed the little shop time and the work we did here on the Team Corrali Suga with the new M2C Racing battery tray conversion kit, basically. Don't think yet, as of when this video is being made, they have them on the site. They're kind of being tested right now, and that's why a few of us are, getting them fitted up and trying them out. And also we got the Arrma Typhon fixed back up again, and she's ready to rock and roll. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Unfortunately, it's been raining here for the last couple days. Haven't got to go out to bash, so I figured I'd do a little shop time here and get some work done. I appreciate you guys stopping by, but that's going to do it for today. So until next time, y'all be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.